This is a major issue Apple, NVIDIA, Anthropic, and other AI companies have been using content taken from YouTubers like Mr. Beast, Mark Walney, PewDiePie, and others without permission. It appears these prominent YouTubers are unhappy about this, so I'll explain the situation in detail for you now. The story begins with an investigation by Proof News, which reports that Apple, NVIDIA, and Anthropic have used thousands of stolen YouTube videos to train their AI. To clarify what this means, let me step back and explain how these models are trained. AI models need a vast amount of data, typically in the form of text. However, companies like Apple, NVIDIA, and Anthropic often don't have their own data. Meta is an exception, as it owns the data generated on Facebook and can use it to train its models. But similarly, formerly Twitter operates in the same way. For many large companies without their own data, the solution is to purchase it from third-party providers. One of these companies is Eleuther AI, which specializes in data scraping. Eleuther AI is behind a dataset called the Pile, a highly popular resource used by many AI companies for model training. According to Wikipedia, the Pile is an 886 GB collection of diverse, open-source English text designed for training large language models. Although it's open source and anyone can use it to train their models, it is intended to include only data that was legally obtained. This is where the story takes an interesting turn. Proof News discovered that the Pile dataset includes subtitles from tens of thousands of YouTube videos. When you watch a YouTube video and use the subtitle button, every spoken word is transcribed into text. This text is readily accessible for download by anyone. On any YouTube video, you can get the full transcript by scrolling down to the description and clicking Show Transcript. This allows you to highlight, copy, and paste the entire text anywhere you like. As Proof News investigated further, they found that the Pile dataset contained transcripts from some of the most popular YouTubers. Not only are the YouTubers upset because their data was used without permission, but Google is likely displeased as well. Google owns YouTube and is developing its own AI technologies. Many AI experts believe that YouTube's content could be one of the most valuable data sources globally, given the massive volume of videos, audio, and transcriptions uploaded every minute. This wealth of content could be crucial for training future AI models. While Google owns that data, Apple, NVIDIA, and other AI companies that have used the Pile dataset have been utilizing this data without permission. The article reveals that companies have used training data despite YouTube's rules against harvesting materials from the platform without permission. The investigation found that subtitles from 173,000 YouTube videos, sourced from over 48,000 channels, were used by major tech companies such as Anthropic, NVIDIA, Apple, and Salesforce. This data set, known as YouTube Subtitles, wasn't even concealed, it was directly scraped and utilized. It includes transcripts from educational and online learning channels like Khan Academy, IT, and Harvard, as well as media outlets like the Wall Street Journal, NPR, and the BBC. Even entertainment programs like The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, and Jimmy Kimmel Live had their content used for AI training. The investigation also uncovered material from popular YouTube stars such as Beast, Marquise Brownlee MKBHD, Jacksepticeye, and PewDiePie. Additionally, they have a tool called Nifty that allows users to search for a channel or video and see if that content or creator is included in the Pile dataset. Marquise Brownlee has already commented on this issue on Twitter. He retweeted a 9to5Mac article about the finding, noting that Apple has sourced data for their AI from various companies, including one that scraped a large amount of transcript data from YouTube videos, including his own. He pointed out that while Apple isn't directly responsible for the scraping, this issue will likely continue to be a significant problem. He also expressed agreement with the concerns surrounding these datasets. Given the scale of this issue, it will be incredibly challenging to verify whether every piece of data was collected with the author's permission. In fact, it might even become a business in itself to scan these data sets to identify any copyrighted or unauthorized data. What's particularly interesting is that he highlights the legal implications of this situation. Apple technically avoids direct fault because they didn't perform the scraping themselves. Instead, they, along with other companies, bought the data set from a third-party company, Aluther AI, that did the scraping. This is a significant issue because as content creators, people like MKBHD and MrBeast want their content used only in ways they approve. They invest substantial time, effort, and money into their videos and should have a say in how their content is utilized. Beyond that, there are broader implications to consider. MKBHD highlights an additional layer of frustration he pays for a service to create accurate transcriptions of his videos, which he then uploads to YouTube. The transcripts from these paid services are being scraped and used without permission, effectively stealing his investment in transcription services. This situation mirrors the issue that led to the New York Times suing OpenAI, where large portions of their articles were replicated by simply prompting ChatGPT. This demonstrates a recurring problem with the misuse of content in AI training datasets. Yes, the lawsuit involving the New York Times and OpenAI is still ongoing. I'll be sure to update you with any new developments. As for OpenAI, they've indeed been actively acquiring data through partnerships. For instance, they've teamed up with Reddit and other news publications to access their data. A blog post from June 27th highlights a strategic content partnership with Time magazine, indicating their continued efforts in expanding their data sources. But OpenAI's recent partnerships with organizations like The Atlantic, Vox Media, and News Corp show their proactive approach in securing permissions for data. This intense competition to gather data for training future models highlights the arms race in the AI industry. There's also speculation that one reason OpenAI hasn't yet released their text-to-video generation product, Sora, might be concerns over whether it was trained on stolen data. This could be contributing to the delay in its public release. Midjourney is another AI company facing accusations of data theft. For instance, Reed Southern demonstrated that he overlaid an AI-generated Joker image from Midjourney V6 with a movie frame, highlighting a striking resemblance that suggests the AI used the movie frame for training. Further examples show Marvel movie frames on the left and Midjourney-generated images on the right, revealing a close similarity. However, it's important to consider what this implies about fair use in this context. In their response to the New York Times lawsuit, OpenAI argued that there's a fundamental similarity between a human reading publicly available text articles, such as YouTube subtitles, and a language model learning from those texts to answer questions. Essentially, they claim that large language models work by reading and learning from text in a similar way. While this perspective might support a fair use argument, I understand the concern from a content creator standpoint. If AI models were trained on my videos without my consent, I'd be quite frustrated, as it feels like taking advantage of creators' efforts and deriving value from their work without adding anything new. In the article, it is referenced that OpenAI executives have repeatedly declined to publicly answer questions about whether they used YouTube videos to train their AI product, Sora, which creates videos from text prompts. Earlier this year, a reporter from the Wall Street Journal asked Mir Moretti, OpenAI's chief technology officer, about this, but he responded, "I'm not actually sure about that." Another angle to consider is that the data set mentioned, which includes YouTube subtitles and was published in 2020, contains subtitles from over 12,000 videos that have since been deleted from YouTube. In at least one case, the creator deleted their entire online presence, yet this work has been incorporated into an unknown number of AI models. If you're a creator and you no longer want your work online, deleting your channel doesn't address the data that has already been used to train AI models. This situation is reminiscent of issues Google faced in the early days of search. Essentially, Google scrapes content, indexes it, and provides previews, which have progressively become more detailed and useful. As a result, users are often less inclined to click through to the original source website, opting instead to get the information directly from Google. AI models take this issue to a whole new level. Regarding legal actions, there have been numerous lawsuits from musicians, authors, and other artists. For example, a dataset known as Books 3 was mentioned, and last year, a piece published in The Atlantic reported that over 180,000 books, including works by Margaret Atwood, Michael Pollan, and Zadie Smith, had been used without permission. These authors have since sued AI companies. In response, defendants such as Meta, OpenAI, and Bloomberg have argued that their actions constitute fair use. This dispute is likely to escalate to the highest levels of the U.S. courts. All of this is incredibly interesting, and I'll be following it closely. I'll update you as it progresses. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing. I'll see you in the next one.